Well, let's bring on board the management of Satin Credit Care. We'll talk about what exactly is happening in the company. Remember, the management had said that the company is confident of growth ahead. It had posted a good set of numbers in Q3 as well, with strong growth in the loan book, a net profit as well, and NII as well was higher. So Mr. H.P. Singh, the CMD and founder of Satin Credit Care, joins us now on the phone line. Mr. Singh, thanks so much for joining us on ET Now. You know, in your latest press release, you've mentioned that the company will now act as a business correspondent for IndusInd Bank. If you could just give us more details, what exactly does this development mean for you? What is the rationale for the same?
So what we've done technically, so we've sealed up an arrangement with IndusInd Bank to be their business correspondent. What we will do in terms of microfinance, we will create a portfolio for them in terms of microfinance for wherever geographies we are working in. And for us, this partnership with IndusInd Bank will actually give us more funds for growth, more funds for scalability, and to get into diversified geographies much more in the microfinance space.
So in light of this then, Mr. Singh, how will your overall volume growth improve? Or by how much?
I think, since we have a large amount of, on-tap funding available from IndusInd Bank, so what we are looking at is technically to reach a threshold level where probably about 25 to 30% of our loan book would be a business correspondent, loan from the IndusInd Bank side. So that is what in the larger frame of things, we are looking at.
Okay. Now, the company has also granted IndusInd Bank the right to appoint a director on board of the directors of Satin Credit Care. What is the rationale for offering this board seat?
So it's a very strategic business partnership with IndusInd Bank. So to formulate and get more value add in terms of our partnership with IndusInd Bank, we have invited the representative from IndusInd Bank to join our board and take our scale and our growth forward in the larger space of microfinance. So that is the reason why we've taken on board a director from the IndusInd Bank side.
Okay. Also, the right to board seat is available up to a specified threshold. So, could you confirm the threshold?
The threshold, I think, is closer to when IndusInd Bank typically would have closer to about 10% of our AUM is held by IndusInd Bank. I think that is where the board seat will probably evolve into. But they are getting invited, right now soon. So I think the scheme of things will be bigger than that.
So, in case if the threshold is not met, what exactly happens? And if you could just give us other specifics as well of the arrangement.
I don't think so. That's pretty much too important to really look at. I think for us the major thing which we've done with the IndusInd Bank is that since we have a representative from there on the board, even if the threshold is probably there, I think it's basically numbers which we've tried to work out. But our own sense is in terms of the partnership which we are really looking at with IndusInd Bank, I think these probably things don't have meaning. And we're looking at the larger interest of how we take the microfinance space to a larger extent possible and go for a growth.
Okay, Mr. Singh, I'm just going to put my neck out here and ask you a question quite straightforwardly. IndusInd Bank, of course, announced its merger with Bharat Financial. Any plans for a merger with IndusInd Bank?
Let them get over with the first one, which they're doing. So
it may be on the cards?
No, nothing.
Okay.
Nothing that, we still have to, work on the BC arrangement, so that's more important to us right now. I think, nothing as yet,
Taking that as a no either. So we're sort of reading in between the lines, Mr. Singh, if you will. A quick last question. Will the arrangement also lead to lower cost of funds for the company? And by how much will the cost of funds decline and thereby impacting your margins?
I think the margins will not be impacted. What we will probably be able to do is that with the lower cost of funds coming in, I think we'll be able to transcend into giving lower interest rate to our ultimate borrowers. So I think it's going to be beneficial to our borrowers across the board who will be able to get funds now maybe at a cheaper rate from us also, in terms of this drop in cost of funds.
Okay, thanks very much for giving us all of those details on what this partnership means with IndusInd Bank as well as the growth plans for the company going forward. Satin Creditcare currently quoting at 369 in trade. But right back to your questions, your queries that you've sent in to us. And Maria,